It will be a little bit without introduction, but next time I will remember better. So today we are going to learn how to do narrow lines. So I hope you have a piece of paper. It could be any paper, printing paper, like it could be even something in your notepad. So this is just a simple exercise. So you can use this one, or just, I have enough white paper, so I was very well prepared for such lockdown. So narrow line is such a line that does not repeat itself, and it goes wherever you do not expect it. So you can, it's remind me roots or water when it's trying to find the easiest path. Doesn't repeat itself, it means that it doesn't go as a sinusoid. Sinusoid is a pattern, and we have a tendency to repeat our mistakes over and over because this is how people works. Like when we're familiar with something, it's easy to repeat it, even if outcome will be not as pleasant as we want, but it will be familiar outcome. So just by drawing such line, you can experience how to act in your life without expectations, like without like trying every day, trying something new, something unusual. So try to draw several lines on your piece of paper. Just experience it and see how freely your line is going. Does it go too straight? Like some people just go like this. Usually it's if you have very constrained, like very controlling issues, make a little bit effort to go wider. Could be not easy. Some emotions can start show up because like going wide, it represents like going free. It's a question about freedom. And if you look at your lines, they really represents how you communicate with other people. So how you setting up goals. I have a chance to work with kids, and it's easy to understand their personality just by looking how they draw lines, how smooth your lines. Okay, so this is the first exercise to loosen your hands, and relax a little bit. So we can put it on a side. So if for you very difficult to make such lines to move free, I'll show you some trick, and you can try it right now, or you can try whenever you have a chance. So we'll just take any coin or round object, light one. And if you see on the marker, you have a tip, and you just push this coin with the tip of your marker. And you see, it's completely different lines, not what I usually do. And it's great opportunity to train your brain. Like right now, we are really training our brain to push, to act differently, not what we usually expect from ourselves. And you can try different speed, see, it's different lines. So This is what's called neurolines. Like if you want a challenge, you can do a different way. You can start trying to understand what you want, where do you want to move your line next. So if I want to move, continue to move right, I intentionally move it left or up. So I always like intentionally change my behavior, my understanding about something. Like I don't follow my regular routines. I don't say that routines are bad, but if we want to achieve something good in new in our life, we need to change our patterns. Or at least we need to understand our old patterns as well. So this is neuroline. So next step is when lines crossing each other, we start having corners, angles. Traditionally, all sharp objects recognized as danger. They represent knives, teeth, claws, something that you can fight with or you have to defend yourself. So when we recognize some danger, it shows like we in defensive condition. Our brain recognizes it as that we need to protect ourselves. But we want our drawing look very safe. And safe object in Neurographica is and harmonious is a circle. Circle is a perfect shape that doesn't have any corners. So we need to transform all angles in round, not exactly in circles, but we need to round them. Like we want to bring some harmony in those corners. So I'll show you on a big piece of paper. Like if we have, I take this marker. So if I have, for example, these two narrow lines crossing each other, I'm rounding it. And what does not belong to this curve, I just color with a black. But you can use not black, you can use any different colors. And the same this one. So when two lines crossing each other, usually it's four corners. You need to round each of them. So be aware of situations when you have two thin lines, and when you round it, it's become like black, very bold, sharp spike. So now instead of harmonizing, I even bring in even more my attention to this. So in this case, you need to use like to make stronger each line. So you need to smooth and like so like a gradient. So each line become stronger. So now it looks smoother. So those two steps, narrow lines and rounding corners, are two basic steps. You know almost everything now about Neurographica. Why we round this? Like because our brain, when we see something like this, your brain will make a complete the picture. It will recognize as a square. If we have, for example, this curve, it recognizes it's a part of a circle. So we don't need to complete all shapes. Our brain will recognize new, like the complete version we have based on our experiences before. And if your brain does not recognize it, so if, for example, if you don't recognize a square from the 4 dots, it's maybe an indication that you are in a danger because you do not recognize by symptoms something bigger. For example, like if you see the big wheel of a car that is driving, right, like driving on going on a road, and you don't recognize it that it's a big car that could be dangerous for you. It could be a life-threatening situation. So you need to train your brain to recognize by simple symptoms or simple elements what is the bigger picture. Okay. So next step. Now we are going to do like I told you that we will do the NeuroTree of health, but if you want to do the NeuroTree of something else, I'll show you some examples what I mean. So, for example, so this is one of my NeuroTree of health. This is a NeuroTree. Oh, it's a big one, so it doesn't really fit in the whole picture. This is I'm studying right now, and this is a NeuroTree of what I want to learn from the course I'm attending right now. So it could be business. This was a NeuroTree for health of my son when he was in New York State and I was here and could not help him. So this was an oak we were drawing, and this is just to activate the sense of power and sense of strength in myself. So, and we will do this one. I like this is my husband's drawing. So he did, it's his relationship with his ancestry line. So there is a mom, there is all other ancestry lines here. And it can be something like this, very gentle ones, or could be bigger and stronger. So each of yours will be different and unique, and this is what is the beauty. You don't have to compare your tree to anything else. As you see, even I could do like different ones. So, and because every day we are different, every day we are changing. So don't try to be exactly as anybody else, because I want you to experience who you are and what kind of tree you have right now, what kind of potential health resources you have right now. So now we are going to draw. So the next step, we will start to form a tree. We need to, even to activate any resources, you need to have some energy. You need to get this energy from the ground, from the earth. We have a potential to collect the energy from the earth. Many people are trying to go far beyond our reality, go to sky, meditate, imagine yourself on clouds. I want you to bring back to the earth. I want you to feel the earth. Like it's good if you, okay, somebody, like, let me make sure that we have. So I want you to put your feet on the ground and feel the earth, feel the energy, like feel the strength of the earth. And we imagine that we are collecting this energy from the earth, and just by drawing these narrow lines, we start forming our tree from the ground, from the earth to the sky. So we are channeling this energy. And you see, it doesn't seem like a tree right now, but it will at some point. So tree will have three parts. We have ground, we have roots, we will have a trunk, and we will have branches. So you can, there are different interpretations, and for each people it could be different, but usually it's past, present, future, or your body, like how do you represent yourself, your experiences, your resources, and your projects. Or it could be what else? Grounding and channeling energy from the higher resources, from higher vibrations. So it could be many interpretations for you, and they could be different at the same time, at the same drawing. So when I have enough lines, and you see that they crossing each other, they go. I'm trying to make them a little bit more balanced. So I want them to be strong roots and strong branches, and everything should be proportional. So if you have a tendency to have big branches and very shallow roots, you need energy to support your tree. It's like the metaphor of the tree, like if the strong wind is coming, how strong is the tree? How deep are roots? Are they wide but shallow, or are they going deep? So it's up to you. But in drawing, you can actually experience and train your brain to do something unusual. And now when I have enough energy, I'm like, you can pay attention to your body. Like, I would say, like, not even can, like, please pay attention to your body. Do you have any emotions starting to show up? Do you have any physical sensations in your body starting to show up? You can have how do you breathe? Do you still breathing? And when I have enough energy, I start drawing circles, and each circle represents my resource, what kind of resources I have. For example, I have very strong body. Usually it's great potential in my body. Like I know it's strong, and I very rarely get sick. I know that for example, my experiences, my life experiences, I know quite a lot about what I can do to support my body. So I know how to eat well, I know how to sleep well. That all of these elements could be very important. Next, what I want for example, my parents, when they were much younger, they were very strong people. Both of them did some sports, like very seriously sports, not like champions or professional sportsmen, but they had, my father used to play hockey. My mom was a competitive bicyclist when she was much younger. I have a beautiful nature that I can go out and release my worries and release my anxiety. So we are very lucky in Washington State. But I believe that just any place right now in March, it's already April, we are lucky to, everything starts blooming. Everything gives this power, sense of new beginnings. I have this beautiful instrument that I can use for myself, emotional hygiene, this Neurographica, for example. And you can overlap those resources. For example, I know that I have this healing modality that I'm practicing, and this is it's a such big resource that does not even fit on the whole drawing, but I can just recognize it as a part of the circle, and my brain will recognize that it can go beyond. What else? You may have completely different resources, and my resource could be like, I know that my body remember when it was much younger and much stronger. I used to run every day, so I still have this potential capacity in my body. So those are my resources, and you can add even more. You don't even have to name all of them. You can just draw a circle and say, like, this is my resource. Maybe later I will recognize what it is. So next, what kind of projects do you have? Why do you need the health? What do you want to achieve in life? What do you need this health for? For example, I want to travel more. I want to see my grandchildren, for example, or want to participate in my kids' life. I want to achieve something as a professional. I want to be more physically active. I want to be independent. So independence could be a big step. I want to enjoy life, just like really feel the joy. And I want to teach people. I want, like, I'm at the point when I know that I have something to share with people. The trunk is your present. Do you achieved already, like in the current moment, what you have right now? For example, I'm already have organized some classes, online classes. I supporting my family and my friends. Many of them need. I have my students and I'm very happy to support them. And I support my family, my immediate family, and even my cat. Interesting, my family and my cat are almost as big. So it could be anything for you. So your business, it could be your hobby, your husband, children. Okay. Parents-in-law, whatever makes you feel good. Like what do you have right now? Like what forgot. So for example, I don't know like what my projects right now are, but I feel like this corner is a little bit empty. So I want to put a big circle that will be representing project here, and it will make a little bit balance. So look at your picture, see if there is any out of balance empty spots. Do you have enough roots? You can draw more lines to activate some of those resources and projects, give them more energy. You may even explore them with lines. Like this sense of bionical movement gives our brain permission to access our subconscious mind. Because when we have the straight line, it's recognized as an order. Our subconscious mind does not like orders. We really want to convince our mind that it's their wish to show us something. And those lines help us to show it. Okay, so I have enough mess on my picture. And next step, so next step will be to harmonize it. You see how many crossings I have. And I'm pretty sure you have at least as many as I do. And we are going to round each corner. So this is the point where the art meditation step in. Like just by repeating simple actions. Like for example, if I go in some small areas, I can try to round each corner, or I can just draw a circle inside and color what does not belong to that circle. It's not necessary circle, it could be just an oval or any unusual shapes. So each corner I turn in something. In small areas, I can just color with black. I use black color so you can see better, but it could be any color that you, any marker that you used. So, and I just start coloring. So I'm not just, because using many resources, we still have life experiences around them that could be not as pleasant as we want. So this disharmony, this painful experiences related to this resources, we are harmonizing, we are transforming them in positive energy flow. So, and as you see, it's changing, the whole picture starts changing. You see how safe starts looking this circle compared to the rest of the picture. My husband said that Neurographica is even better than Sudoku. He still doesn't draw it very often, but sometimes we do. So, and if you have any questions, please let me know. So I don't want you to feel behind. You can turn on microphone. It's not so many people today. It's not so many people, so you can ask questions, or you can type the question in the chat. I will try to. Okay.
Wait, test speaker. What?
Yeah.
Test mic, input level, input volume, audio.
Okay. So I think it's not a question, it's about testing the audio for Red. Any other questions? Okay. So I will tell you the story about when I used the NeuroTree of Health first time. I was...
Tell me what, Meg?
No. So when you want to talk to her, I think she should have you on mute. You can push your space bar to talk to her, like to make a thing. And then I think in your picture, you should be able to like have your picture be off, like if you don't want people to see you, and it's just going to show your name. But I think it's fine. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Okay, Red. Ask me. I can hear you, so you can ask your question.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, yes, I'm talking to you. We can hear you perfectly.
I'm Meg's mom.
Of course, I remember you.
And she and Kai have spent all this time trying to help me to get on here. So I don't really have a question. I'm just listening now.
You can just
okay.
Wait. I need to do something so I'm not interrupting.
Yes, I turn on the mute. So, but if you want to talk to me, you can just unmute the microphone.
Okay, but
there is a microphone on the left lower corner. That right now it should be red, but if you want to talk to us, just click on it and it will be green. Okay. So I'm coming back to the story how I used the first time the NeuroTree of my health. So I was in on a course, Neurographica course, and my back, like I woke up with a bad pain in my not spine but lower back. Barely could see it, and like didn't want even to draw anything at that time, but decided like, okay, maybe if I be very gentle to myself and just start doing something, because I don't like to be late with homework. And I started doing I was able to choose the theme. And by the end, I finished the drawing. My pain was almost gone. It's still be not 100%, but at least I could move, I could walk instead of just lay down. And it's amazed me how fast and effective is this drawing, that you can change your physical conditions. And it's, I started playing with this. I tried different. So it's for those who are familiar with family constellations, I did several classes about how to connect to your ancestry lines. And in the roots, you just represent what you want to connect, who you want to take energy and support from. And it's really amazing because you can, it's not just you do work and you experience emotions and some changes in your perspectives, but in 5 minutes you already don't remember much. This one, the drawing stays with you and you can come back and go deeper and go like a new level of experiences. You can add more resources, you can add more experiences, more lines, more energy to your drawings later. And when you're ready, you can even use this drawing. I forgot to share screen. That you use this drawing, you can glue it to a bigger piece of paper or glue additional paper. So for example, if I want to go bigger, I can just glue it on top and on the bottom as well, and it will be just bigger tree. And for example, yeah, for example here, I started drawing with this page, but it's by the time I wanted to finish it, I realized that I have much more resources and I have much bigger projects, and I just glued to the bigger page and extended it. And I have my biggest tree, NeuroTree that I have, is a size of my body, where we had a experiment with other friends of mine that when you lay down on a huge piece of paper as a star, like you spread your legs a little bit, your arms up, and you make a contour of your body on a piece of paper and activate each part of your body. You can activate your chakras, you can activate your organs, the whole immune system. So was so powerful that I'm like, it's a very powerful experience, but you have to be very careful with such huge projects, because it gives you so much energy that you need to use it right away. You don't hold it. There will be no options to hold it back. You need to really immediately release it in something creative. When I did started to do this big tree, in 2 days I made 2 websites, organized courses like energy healing courses in Russia, distantly was able to organize. If you have energy, you need to use it, because like excess of energy could be very disturbing, and it could be not dangerous, but it will be discomfort for sure. So many people trying to complain that we have not enough energy, but I know several people who have opposite, like they have enough energy and get sick because they don't release it. And their creativity is the easiest way to release their energy. It's the safest and the fastest way to release their energy. So we need to be very cautious. The intention should be not to have more energy, but to be in balance. So what is the balance for you? If you want just to have energy, lay down on couch and watch TV, you don't need much. But if you want to change the world, this is really need big activation. So you have to be very careful what you wish for, and be not very careful, but be cautious about it. Like be responsible for your desires. Okay, interesting. So now I want to make a new project. I want to be very cautious and very about my desires. And I will integrate it in my whole drawing. Okay.
Anna, can I ask, did you do the lines first or the circles first?
I start usually with lines, so activate a little bit some energy in myself, and I add circles later.
Thank you.
Interesting. It's already second time I'm drawing this NeuroTree, and it's every time is the same reaction in my body. It's a dry throat, so something I don't say out loud. Interesting. And I leave you for a second and come back because it's getting disturbing. I just need some water. It's actually a great opportunity to remind you whenever you work with energies, and right now we're working with energies, please take care of your body. Please make sure that you drink enough water, because water is great help to release outdated information from our body. It's okay. And it's different people are start harmonizing from different parts. For example, for me, it's easier to harmonize my present time. It's not a good or bad way, it's just easier for me. But for some people, for you, it could be easier to harmonize your roots and go higher. Or maybe you more focused on your future and on your project. So there is no right or wrong way. It's just this is who you are. And I just want you to observe some of these steps. Do you have any questions?
I know I came in late and you probably already said this to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but bottom circles are your past strengths, are the people in your past that helped you, and your upper circles are your hopes, are your goals, are your prayers.
Yes, and your projects, it's like, what do you need the health for? Because we are drawing the tree of your health. So roots are your resources. So trunk is your present moment. How do you use it? How do you express yourself? How do you show yourself to the world? And your branches and fruits of the tree could be, how do you really, what are you planning to do in the future? What do you want to do in the future? So this is a opportunity to organize your desires. And maybe you want to help somebody, maybe you want to achieve something, maybe you want to experience something in your life. And it could be different sizes in different places. Just play with this. What do you want?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm coming back. So on Friday and next week, we are going to do different exercise. It's more about lifting inner constraints. So if you're interested, you're welcome to join. And it's one of the most important exercises in Neurographica. You can do much smaller drawings. But what I found, like when we usually do the NeuroTree, it's I almost always extend the drawing. I'm getting in such a bliss that I want to expand it. But letter size paper is a good beginning. There is a interesting observation, like when you want to work with something big, like with big dramatic theme like relationship, you can do relationship here as well. Or if you want to work on health, it's more effective if you make it on a smaller piece of paper, so you can see the whole picture on a smaller scale. But if you want to work on something small, you go opposite. You actually use a bigger paper so to expand it and learn more in details.
Anna, I have a question.
Okay.
When you start to do your circles, you have clear intention of what the circles mean. But then I find when I work on it, I have at that point in my absorption of filling it in and feeling the energy, I forget actually which is the circles. Are you holding in your mind what each of those circles represent?
No,
it's after they've been represented.
It's actually not important if you remember them. Some people have the tendency to write down in the circle what they represent. For me, the most important that I activated this resource, that I intentionally invited this resource in my life. And it could be not just like physical resources, it could be inspirations. Like, for example, I can put a person who inspire me to be healthier, maybe a sportsman or any book about health. So it's intention is more important than remembering. Actually, your brain will remember it anyway, but it's like in a constellation. You just need to feel the flow. That if there is an energy from that resource, it really does not matter what the resource is. So you just have to keep this, check with yourself. Do you feel the lines go easily through this resource, or do you want to make it stronger? You can make it bigger at any time. You just will harmonize all the new angles, but it's will be activation. So I hope I answered to your question.
Yes, very good answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have several students, men students, that software developers besides my husband, and for them this repeating action, just drawing rounding corners, is the only way to meditate. I know that like many can meditate, like sit, relax, and hold the intention or not holding any intention. But for even more people, it's very hard to do. So if we just concentrate on a simple action, it actually helps us to relax our brain. Your body may start have reactions, like besides emotions. It may start like not sleepy, but earning. Yeah, like I pronounce this word horribly wrong, but it means that you're relaxing your heart muscle. So don't think that it's simple. Sometimes it could be a symptom that it's boring for you, and I cannot say that it's like for everyone, but in most cases it's just a relaxation of the body that can have this reactions. So pay attention what your emotions are, what you're feeling, maybe where in your body do you feel it, and just explore yourself. And if it's very hard for you to let go any thoughts, you can concentrate on your breathing. Just observe how air goes in and out. It's actually the simplest way to calm down your thoughts is start observing your breathing. So in Neurographica, we usually pay attention to 3 very important parts: emotions, thoughts, and body. How body reacts, what do you feel right now, and what you are thinking about. So you may start receiving some interesting insights about you. And if you feel sad, if you feel overwhelmed, be with this. Like, don't judge yourself with these emotions. It's the safest way to release those emotions on paper. So and if you feel angry, it's okay. So there is no good or bad emotions. There is just appropriate time for them or not appropriate time for them. But you cannot judge emotions. And like I like when in one book there was a comparison, like emotions are like your children. We usually have a favorite ones, but it doesn't mean it's right. So you need to love all of them equally and equally take care of each of them. So and you may start to see some unusual shapes in your lines, because brain usually tries to make any sense out of these shapes. It's very hard for the brain just let go and this abstract line, like we tried to recognize something familiar to us. I remember like when I moved to US, it was almost over 18 years ago. I was surprised how I tried to see the familiar faces in people on streets, like wherever I go, like completely different nationalities people that has nothing familiar with my friends in Russia looked like so familiar to me, like the faces, the movements. I'm like I was intentionally looking for something that I could recognize as a safe people that I knew. And it happens all the time with us, like when we meet some people, we are not usually, they remind us somebody. And just by reminding this, we already start acting according to what the person, what was the experience with that person that they reminded. They remind you, like, do they remind you an enemy or do they remind you a friend? Your reactions will be different. So. And again, you can add more circles, more resources to what you have, or you can add them later. You can turn your drawing so it should be comfortable for you to draw. I'm trying to hold it vertical so you can see. And it's very important to experience this movement from the ground, from the bottom to top. So this movement that we activate energy from the ground to the sky.
Hannah, so when you first drew the lines of your tree, you did them all from bottom to top?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
I can do some of them like from the middle. Like, for example, if I have lines that, for example, this is a busy already, but this is a little bit, this area is a little bit empty. So I can take and just expand one of the line more here. But intentionally, I'm activating my grounding. So I want the energy from the earth. I want the energy, like I want to feel the earth supporting me. So I imagine that this is my body and the energy from the earth going from the earth through my body and connect me with the sky. So many, I like in last several years, I've met so many strange people, just like myself, that healers, mediums, like psychics, and most of them are very high in the sky. Like they travel, they connect to different realms, and very important for such people, for any people, for everybody, to feel connected to the earth. Because when you don't have enough grounding, it's the energy stuck in your head or in your throat. But we need to activate the whole channel, so the energy should go through your body to the earth, so you can really help earth as well. Because you when you receive some messages, when you receive some energy from top, you need to do something with this energy. You need not just even passing, you need to manifest something in your physical world. And in this case, you need grounding. So right now I'm a supervisor in Institute of Psychology of Creativity. It's a Russian online school. And I have a chance to see the many drawings, our students' drawings. Like I'm just helping them. They're not exactly my students. But when you see people drawing business, when they don't have strong roots, it's really very little chances to that business will thrive. It's really, you need the grounding. The grounding should be the rule number one. When you have grounding, when you have the basis, when you have the safety, because this grounding represents safety as well, and trust to the earth, trust that you are not alone in this journey, in this chaos. And when you have this trust, you will be able to manifest your imagination, manifest your dreams, your desires. And dreams will be different. Dreams will be more realistic, more safe. They will be supported by your energy. It's much easier to resolve anything in your life when you have enough energy. When energy is exceed the problem, the solution could be very easy, simple, very creative. But when we don't have enough energy, not enough grounding, it's very hard to resolve anything. You just physically don't have enough resources to do it. So we are right now activating your resources, activating your energetic balance. Again, we are activating balance, not just energy, to achieve your dreams and desires.
Is it, this is Rhett still, is it better to start filling in the smooth parts from the bottom up also?
Wherever you feel more comfortable, start. I started from the middle. For me, it was easier to start working with my present instead of working with my past or future. So it's just wherever you feel enough interest, curiosity to harmonize, go there. There is no good or like right or wrong way to do it. So it's whatever gives you energy, wherever your attention brings you.
So do you ever turn your tree upside down to work?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
At some point, you may even forget where is the top, where is the bottom. If your tree is balanced well enough. If your tree is balanced, you at some point it will be hard to recognize what was the bottom, what was the top. So only clear will be what is your present. So again, if you decide to extend your tree, make sure you extend it on the not just on top, but on the bottom as well. And you can, I've seen already so many trees that other people, like my students, did. It's actually very clear to see what the how we connected to our ancestral lines, like to our parents, to our history, to our culture, because one of my students, she is adopted. She physically cannot draw roots. It's like we have to work with this, because she said, like, no, it's just flowers in a vase, just flowers in a vase. No, there will be no roots, there will be no tree. And it took us several times to still be able to connect to roots. So it's a lot of symbolism in this drawing, so you can see. And one more thing that I wanted to mention, that adults or children who experienced a lot of trauma as especially at the early age, for them conflicts are reality. And at some point, brain does not recognize any more conflicts, or they don't highlight them for their safety. So I work with children in jail, and for some of them, like they don't see corners. When the moment I say that each corner represents conflict, they don't see corners. And we have to sit with my friends and like show, this is the corner, and you round it like this. This is the corner. And it takes a lot of time and patience. But this is what you have to do. Like there was a reason why they get blind to conflicts, because especially when you don't have power to change it, you don't want to be stressed about it all the time.
What happened?
What happened to what? To children? I don't hear the whole question. So the point is not just to start recognizing conflicts, even it's already important, but how to recognize it and have an instrument to change it, to transform it in something, in safety, in some beautiful solutions, creative solutions. So we have interesting experiences with such kids. And like every time when I start like complaining that why it's so hard, why is my life is so hard. When I go there, I'm like, it's a great awakening call that, oh my gosh, you are so spoiled. And yes, you had some hardships, but everyone has their own journey. My headphones are dying. So I'm thinking, if you have any other questions, please tell me, because I'm kind of already losing things to talk about it. So I don't want you to overwhelm with my experiences, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. And
hi.
mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I wanted to ask you about the size of the circles in the roots and the size of the circles in the branches, and also in general the size and quantity of the circles at all. Can they be like your first picture, the colored tree that you with the sun?
Mm-hmm.
The small, very small circles, fruits, versus right now the bigger circles?
So it's actually different purposes. Like this tree was not exactly about the health. So for me, this one was just to recognize that I have fruits, like I have already achieved some goals, and those fruits in roots, what I've achieved already, that what already was ripe enough to fall down. So it's different, and the size is just a random. I trust my hand because it's very physical process, like withdrawing and fine motor skills involved. So I trust my hand, how big it wants to draw. But if this one, first of all, there are different sizes of projects and resources, because my brain recognize them as a different powers. Like, for example, and for you it could be different. Like you may be surprised that some of the resources could be very big on your drawing, much bigger than you expected. Something simple could be very powerful on your drawing. So I don't give you exact answer like how big it could be. So it's just a question of trust. And another thing, that when I draw circles, I just want them to be balanced. So they can be spreaded evenly on my tree. So I have enough resources to support my big desires. You can have only few, you can have 2 or 3, but just spread them over the tree, so not only one area of your life is overwhelming. Well, like if you want busy work, it's okay, but have some balance in family as well. So the more you have projects, the busier you will be. I have a tendency to be very busy, and I feel uncomfortable when there is so much empty space without projects. there is some consequences like that I'm a busy person. But if you don't want to be so busy, don't draw so many projects in your life. Or and if you don't just pay attention, like if you have many resources, like very strong roots and not much on top, maybe you don't dream much. Maybe you don't allow yourself to set up higher goals, because you have an opportunity to do something bigger. When you have so much, many talents, many gifts, many powers, and you don't do anything with this, it's kind of not wasting, but you're wasting opportunities. So it's just based on you, how much you want. And again, when you start drawing few of them, you can round all the corners and see how does it feel for you. You can always come back and draw more, and come back and draw more, or don't draw more. So it's only depends how comfortable, how busy you want to be. So, and if it's balanced, very well balanced, strong roots, strong branches, you're already at balance. So I would not even force anything else. So I hope I answered your question. I have a difficulty to give short answers. Okay, so I'm getting close to finish all my roundings. And one more thing, that people only recognize about 90% of their corners. Besides, like people who don't recognize corners at all, but even healthy, happy people have difficulty to recognize all corners. And you can always ask somebody else to take a look at your drawing and see if there is any corners left. And sometimes it looks like we worked on all corners, but for other people, they still look sharp. So this is how we communicate with people, how we are resolving our conflicts in communication. And it's a different, everyone is rounding corners differently. Some of the people prefer to save every small area. Like you see, I have the small circles, but you may just color them with the same marker as you draw for the picture. So you don't have to do exactly as I do, because you are different. And the whole beauty is about your difference. Okay, any other questions?
It was very interesting for me what you said about the big big problem with small pictures and small problems with big pictures. Wait. Is it the same for the shapes, or can you expand on this? How does it work with the brain?
So with the brain, my understanding, and this is mostly my understanding, so it could be speculation about it. When we have, when you have a small problems, it means that you are going deeper in small problems, like going. So you're paying too much details to any themes. So you can go and use for small problems, you can use a big page and kind of magnify it to look at the different scale on this problem. It maybe seems small, but there is always layers of depth. In small problems could be the creation of the world represented. So, and you may recognize it as a small, but it's not actually small. For people who prefer to step back and look at the bigger problems, like instead of going to, I want to communicate, like to work on this particular issue with my husband, for example, I can step back and kind of look at the whole relationship. And I can go, like if I go deeper in each aspect, in each corner of this theme, it will be overwhelming. When I have such a big theme like as a relationship, it's always complicated. So for me, it's easier to represent it on a smaller scale. Like I would take just a half of the page and draw something smaller so I can see and well recognize it as doable, recognize it as I can like it digestible, like if it's possible to talk about emotionally digestible, like that I can process this theme because it's a I'm intentionally minimize the scale. And when I have enough confidence that yes, I can do it, I can go to next level and experience it in details. And I start experiencing small objects, like small areas of this big theme. What is another thing that is very interesting with Neurographica, when you go recognize, like when you're drawing some big themes, for example, relationships, of course, like one drawing will not be enough to resolve any problems. And I'm talking about even resolving, not just release my stress, but finding solutions for problems. And situations could be changed, significantly changed. When you have several drawings about the same theme, at the end, like when you already feel like you've done enough about the theme, if you put them together, like next to each other, you will be amazed how many lines become just a continuation of previous drawing. Even if you did them at different days, different times, different situations, but your brain continue this conversation, this representing to you what is going on in your subconscious mind. And we've done even some drawings in group, and when the group is working on the same theme, you can take different drawings, place them to each other, and they will be continuous lines from one drawing to another. Not all of them, not like 90%, but about half of them, like the strongest one. Usually you can see how one line just continue to another one. So it's really amazing how you can, and you can intentionally connect all small drawings in one big, more complete picture. So save your drawings, and maybe one day you can make such an experiment.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Okay.
Anna, this is Rhett. Are you going to do this every Wednesday, or are you going to just post on Facebook when?
So right now I have an intention to make it regular, so I don't have to post it all the time. So it's every Wednesday I have at noon, from noon till 3, and Friday from 6 till 9 p.m. So whenever you can do, like usually it's the same theme. So on Friday, last Friday we did the NeuroTree with evening group, and today I'm repeating it. But next Friday we will do lifting inner constraints exercise, and repeat it next Wednesday, lifting inner constraints here as well. So I'm like horrible about keeping everybody posted. It takes so much time from me. So if you just remember that it's regular classes, yeah, you can come whenever you want, whenever you have time, and invite whoever could be interested, whoever is struggling right now. So the next one is one of the most important. Like when I just learned Neurographica, I learned how to do lifting inner constraints exercise, and I was 100% sure that the whole Neurographica was about it. I was very surprised to find out that it's not just about it. So. See, I can add more roots because I feel like I want to go deeper. So Neuroline is actually help us to go deeper to your subconscious mind. And subconscious mind holds the whole information about what is going on. The human brain does not forget anything. It's hidden somewhere, but it's I hope you keep hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Because my headphones just battery run low. Okay, so I finished with my rounding. So, and I know that I'm rounding like very fast. I'm very fast with lines, just the way I am. And I'm like, I've done it already, thousands of miles of circles. So it's, you can spend more time. But before we, just for the class and to keep your not the whole day, I will show you what will be the next few steps, and you can finish it whenever you're ready. So the next step will be to color this beautiful tree, and you can pick any colors you want. I have many of those beautiful colors, many pencils. It could be, you can keep realistic tree, or you can go wild and experiment how it would be to have a purple tree or pink tree, or maybe golden tree, neon colors. Like, try to express your imagination, go wild. So, and you can start unite several objects, like several areas. Oh, I found some corners in bigger shapes. So, for example, if I want, and you can color just circles, keep them together, or you can just create some very unusual shapes. For example, like this. And I want here, and I can go here, and just combine your colors together. So they could be very like a flow. For example, on my another tree, I was holding like circles separate. Like I wanted like to highlight the shapes of my resources to show that they are strong and perfect. And I can do it, some of them, like I don't have to do all of them, but just spread them and make them strong and perfect. When we unite several areas together, we are going to, like, we're going on a different level of understanding. We unite small symbols to something.
Yeah. Great. I'm in the middle of an online class.
Okay.
You want to call me back?
Okay, just to avoid extra sounds. So you can use this different techniques. You can just use circles, separate circles, or you can do the flow, or combine both of those techniques. I want. So I want, for some reason, like today, it's very important for me to highlight some of the resources, not to just dissolve them in the whole flow, but intentionally make them stronger, bolder. Okay. I'm trying to, and at some point you will see that like your hand is attracted to some of the circles, not to all of them, but to some of them. So you can be pulled to highlight not all of them. So you don't remember what are what they represent, but you could be recognize that there is more energy there. And for example, this one, I see that there is a circle, but I can just create. There is already a shape of a circle, so I can just create a new project. I don't know what the project is. I don't know, but it's already get appearing. So I'm just okay. If it's getting starts showing up, I just will recognize it and give it more power. So colors, we use random ones, but there is nothing random in this Neurographica. It's random for you. It still be representing some kind of emotions that wants to be appeared on your drawing. And each color has a different emotions. For example, because each emotion is a scale. Like if you're familiar with chakras, each chakra represents different emotions. Like when it's strong and when it's out of balance. So, for example, red may represent anger, but it may represent joy as well. So there is, I cannot just say like, oh, I'm like, have so many red circles that I'm anger. It could be I want more joy in my life and safety and grounding. Red could be grounding as well. Interesting. Today is all about grounding. So even I feel like I'm well grounded, maybe I need even more. Okay, so I will pay attention. Maybe I will intentionally to hold it. Okay, so you see my circles are all different, so different sizes. And again, like circles should not be perfectly circled. We don't use the compass or any stencils to round the circles. It's if you have perfect circles, it's usually an indication that you're a perfectionist and you're trying to be too perfect. Like I was not punished, but one of my instructors, one of the teachers that I was used to work with Neurographica, she brought my attention that my circles are too perfect, and it's representing of my quality, that it's very hard for me to allow myself to be out of perfect shape, to be out of perfect representing. So be careful. Like if you have a not perfect circle, be happy about it, that you are very organic. Like there is no perfect shapes in the real life. And if you have difficulty with all the perfect shapes, you can even experiment and specifically train your brain to be a little bit out of perfect, like a little bit crooked or out of proportion. So sometimes it will be not easy for some of the people. It's interesting how it's different. Okay, so I think I have enough red, and I want to just make more flow. And you can make like different, like in this one, I decided to do all circles red, but you can do red, purple, green, blue, yellow. So it's whatever you want to create, whatever you want to express your imagination, try it. So try to be as unique as possible. Try to see like what else, and maybe if you like, you can use your favorite colors, or try to use opposite colors, or combine them. Like what would be a new opportunity? So I know that some of my clients and even myself, it just harder to notice when I do it myself. Like it's very easy to see in somebody else actions that people avoiding to use some of their colors. Like some people try to avoid brown, some people try to avoid yellow. Each of those colors can represent some certain emotions, and we can, if you're interested, we can talk about it, but I don't want you to limit yourself just like by avoiding. So this is more like diagnostics for you to really to see what is what is your true nature, because you are drawing yourself. Don't try to fit what is good. And usually our brain is really very limited to understand what is good for you. So I want you to trust your body, trust your guts, and just experiment what you want, how you want to draw it, how you want to see. It's interesting. It's I was wishing that, like, wow, if I can stay home and just maybe I would be not as busy as I usually am. And when I'm locked home, I'm actually even more I'm even busier than I used to be when I was just regular classes and everything. I'm like crazy busy. I wake up at 7 and I fall asleep at almost at midnight, and all the time I'm busy meeting so many people. I'm always like, everyone is like meditating, get together, and it's such a opportunity to do so many things right now. So interesting. I hope like you are busy too, because it's a good business. It means that life continue.
It's just hard to organize everything. So many things are happening.
Yes, yeah. But it's it's a great opportunity to see what is the priorities, what need to be organized first. Where do you have to invest your energy? What is, and I'm like, it's actually how priorities in life changed for people. For kids, like before some big tests were like very important, and now it's not as important. Even work is not as important. Like family become very important, relationship become very important. So there is such an opportunity for quality family times to see where is actually the whole energy is going. And understand what is important, or maybe what is used to be important but not anymore. So we kind of forced in such conditions when not just facing ourselves but all our priorities in our lives. It's a really could be a great opportunity to reflect on yourself and see how you react. I was amazed how many interesting themes in my life was show up when the coronavirus was activated, like, and what is the coronavirus represents for me. Well, because we have a different fears, different challenges for each of us. They are like, they similar, but they're uniquely different. For me, my biggest not fear, but well, I can say fear. It's a little bit too strong word, but like cautious. I was very cautious that it's about separation. And the more I will live separate, it's like we cannot physically connect, but at the same time there is such a emotional connection to so many people that is different values important right now. So use this great opportunity. I would really think it's a great opportunity to first of all connect to yourself, to your body. What is important, and to people who are distant. I'm like when I'm busy, I don't have much time to call my parents, and already since they locked down and I'm locked down, we already called each other several times, and we did already video chat, and it's really some of those values are different, and it's important. Well, whatever you delayed, you can do it. I have so many art projects. My whole half of garage is with my future art projects. And
Is it in Neurographica projects or something else?
No, it's something I have several projects with wood carving that just sitting in my garage. Like I have so much wood and so much things to carve, and I do the dotting technique for mandalas, and I'm really delaying it. And there is like several years I already delaying the project about scrapbooking for my son. I've done most of it, but I need to come back and finish it. And I'm like, I had to finish it like 3 years ago, and it's maybe I will have a chance to do it now. Okay, so you see I used only 2 colors. I can use more colors to fill the white, or I can leave white. So white is a beautiful color as well. So it's your way to color. So whatever is you feel like experimenting, you can do it. I'm not sure if I want yellow. And some people have a very difficult time to pick colors. So in this case, I would highly recommend just close your eyes and pull 2-3 colors out of box and combine them. They may be not as you expected, but you can play with this. There is some opportunity, like sometimes you can choose or sometimes you cannot choose, but you still have to create something beautiful out of it. Okay, mine will be interesting which colors I use today. And if you're interested, we can take a look at your drawings and see how different everyone is. You can use color pencils, or you can use even highlighters, so to color everything much faster. I'm very cautious about using markers for coloring because they're too bold, but they're definitely faster to color.
Anna, have you ever done it on watercolor paper?
No, but I know that some people use the pencils for watercolor pencils. Mm-hmm. And they like draw everything and dissolve them later. I haven't played with, I haven't done it before. I've seen results, but I haven't done it before. So you can experiment with yours. So it's a opportunity. Yeah. So try it. There is, again, like if you want to ask, can I do this or that? Most likely I will tell you, yes, you can. Just tell me how it's turned, how it's worked for you. There is a very little, like, I don't expect much from results. So it gives you such a freedom. So please play with this. Interesting. And one more. So tomorrow we have a meeting with my students that I'm teaching the healing modalities, like my trained healers in Russia. So if you want to be in the list of clients that you just need to lay down and stay in your bed during the time, let me know. So we are going to do some distance session for healing. I don't know, for some reason I feel like telling you about it. I'm usually not promoting much, but if you want to be, especially if you have any health concerns, let me know. I just need your permission to. Okay, I think it's enough gold for me for this one. And you can complete your drawing whenever, like, as you need to feel comfortable with the speed. So don't rush yourself to finish it right now. So I would just want to show you all the steps that we need to finish so you can feel comfortable. So one more step that I'm going to do, I want to, first of all, I want to energize myself, and not just energize, but bring the energy in harmonious way, in the way that will bring balance in my present moment and inspire my future moment. So I want to draw, and you can draw a sun or draw something different, just lines. Like I want to draw this beautiful sun behind myself, like, so it will be keeping warm and energized my body. And it could be not a perfect circle. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. And look how many times I'm trying to be perfect. I'm told you it's difficult for me to be not perfect. And I'm start drawing sun. And sun could be yellow, or could be blue, or green, or red, any color that you want to see on your picture. It's not necessary should be yellow. So we are not trying to be very realistic about our tree. We want to be unique. And for example, I want it a little bit more bright. So I found this dry highlighters and I love them. So I purchased the whole box and half of them already gone because they're very bright, very shiny. Okay, so I have this sun, but sun is very beautiful when it has rays of sun, and I use this narrow lines to activate the sun. And it's give us, first of all, it gives us energy, and it gives us connection to whatever is around us, like to whoever is around us, to people. So whenever we need energy, whenever we need support, whenever we need be seen or heard, it's everything. We have enough everything to be happy at the present moment. We have enough resources to move forward. Okay, so this is my one side of the sun. And again, like it's, if it's created corners, just round them. And another thing that I purchased right before the lockdown is I purchased some alcohol ink that I want to try this ink art. They look so beautiful and freeing. Like, I loved Neurographica, that it's a free art. It's, you don't expect to look traditional or anything. Like, you can do, and I'm amazed when people using elements of Neurographica to represent something very beautiful, but it's not necessary. So you could be very beautifully unique in your weirdness, and your art could be just a representation of your uniqueness. It's interesting that today is April 1st, Fool's Day, and I did not tell any jokes. But in tarot, there is a card that represents a fool. Fool is a person who is trusting to the world, who is happy in to be naive enough to trust to the God, to what is going on has a purpose, and it always represents new beginnings. So I hope, I'm not just hope, I know for sure that like I will have new beginnings, and I'm sure that your will be, but now you even going to be aware of those new beginnings and new opportunities that will make it even more powerful. Because opportunities we have all the time, we just don't, not always we recognize them as opportunities. Okay, it's a very beautiful sound. If you don't want sun, you can draw a moon. Moon will be more about emotions. If sun is how you want to present yourself, how to be visible, moon is about your inner depths, like how you want to go deeper in self-exploration, in self-understanding. Interesting. It's interesting. When I was before the lockdown, I was thinking that, well, I have to must do this and this. I cannot change it or cancel it. There is no way I can cancel it. Now I know for sure I can cancel anything, and very fast. So it's a resource for me that I can take control. Okay. So this is my connection to people. On Monday, I did a class for my mom
And my father, who is over 65 now, he was drawing Neurographica for first time. So I want more energy in my face. Any questions so far? Girls, do you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Feeling like I'm talking to myself, which
No,
is
no.
okay for me too. I'm perfectly fine, can talk to myself, but it's this could be a different conversation.
And actually, watching you is kind of hypnotic.
Good.
It is. It's very relaxing.
But I hope you are drawing yourself as well. So it's
I did draw, but I'm not coloring yet.
okay. So there is only one rule, like about Neurographica, that if you started to draw something, finish at least roundings before you're going to before you let the work sit like wherever you want. Like you can round all corners and let it stay for a while till you start coloring, because we activated some connections in your brain, and our brain recognize them as many conflicts. So we want to resolve all conflicts before we can set it aside and going out or going to sleep. Like if you did such a drawing without finishing rounding before you go to sleep, there is a great chance that you will not fall asleep. So this is my huge sun behind the tree. So this is the only rule that I tried to remind all my clients, like finish rounding before you want to do anything else. And one more step. So remember that we collected the energy from the ground and we put it, like we pull it up. So we want to make it stronger. We want to align our tree with the universe. We want to align it with the divine energies, with earth energies. Just everything has a vibration. People have a very different vibration. So we vibrate depending on our emotions. We vibrate quite fast, but if the earth and universe vibrate on different scale, so it's a bigger waves. And what we want to do, we want to be aligned with those bigger, stronger vibrations. So I want to take a black color. So I want, with a pencil, for some reason, it's much easier for me to make it. And I just activate, going along those lines that I have already, and I just make those lines stronger. I kind of activate this energy. I activate those divine resources in myself. I don't activate any artificial. Everything already exists in myself. What is above, so below. So I am below, and whatever is inside of me is a part of the whole universe. So I activate those energies. So you see, they're a little bit bolder, they're a little bit stronger waves, lines. And I have one. For such size of a page, I usually use 3, no more than 4, because it will be overcrowded. So, and I go and just follow wherever it wants to go. And sometimes it may even want to create new lines. But when it's create new lines, you need to make sure that you round all corners, because we don't want universe force us to do something unpleasant. We want it in the safest way, and we just show the universe that, okay, so we have already this capacity to be aligned with you. We have already this beautiful energies in myself, so you can just use that path to show me what you want from me.
Oops. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
So it gives me kind of alignment, and it gives me structure. So they hold the whole. So I want to see the structure. I want to see the purpose of everything that is going on with me. Everything has a purpose. And I know that everything has a purpose. I just want to see it. Or I want to be more, or trust more that I follow this purpose. So it's a little bit philosophical question, but it is existential question about your existence, about your purpose. And I actually, I've heard several, we spend so much time to find the purpose in life that it's become the purpose in life to find the purpose in life. So we, instead of trying to find the purpose, we can just, what you can do right now, how you can do the best out of you, what you can do the best out of you. And okay. And pay attention how your body has changed from the moment we started to draw. Did it change? Do you have any different sensations in your body? Do you have any different emotions? So explore yourself. Okay. And if there are some corners, remember to round them. So this is what is my drawing is. Do you have any questions?
It is beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to watch you draw.
It's not a purpose.
No, but it's very mesmerizing, as someone else said.
Oh, I'm like, you would be amazed like how I love to see like when people draw, and some people are like amazing. And it's interesting. Like we have when I teach group projects, everyone has a different talents. Some people draw very beautiful lines, like really very beautiful, and some are very talented with coloring, like they combine colors in such a way that I would never combine. I'm quite use them bold way, but it's when you work in a group with other people, you have an opportunity to use all talents at the same project. So it's I would highly recommend you to like. It would be interesting to see if you can try to work with somebody else together. Okay. So, any questions? Do you want to show us your drawings? I can turn off the camera.
Okay, so how do you want me to show my drawing?
Okay, let me turn on your camera. And okay, show me your drawing.
Okay, just like this. Okay, can you see?
Oh, it's very beautiful.
See.
Okay,
So
have even basket of fruits.
yeah, this is my first time painting a basket.
Okay, so you're ready to collect fruits of labor. Very feminine, and it's interesting. All those green lines on sides, those are like fresh, fresh beginnings. Like something new trees are growing around you. Something that in your shade and protection, they feel stronger. It's usually they go on sides, but those are going from ground to top. And it's a very big and strong resource on the bottom. I like it.
Yes, that's a strong one.
Strong one, yes. So how do you feel?
I feel great. Thank you. Thank you very much. And it's been amazing drawing with you. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks. Okay, so anybody else wants to show or any questions?
Show my drawing.
Okay. Okay. I think you already started before.
Yeah, so I had the initial drawing, which is here. And then I realized that I need stronger roots, so I put it on a bigger piece of paper. And today I was working on the roots.
Cool.
You have much more work to be done.
Yes, you have a lot of to dream about. Yes, it's beautiful.
Thank you, Anya.
Yeah. And I like that it's really the flow of lines, like yellow, like you are in the flow. And it's not it's with such a big tree, it's still been not overcrowded. Like all those resources are strong, but they have space to grow.
I like it when you said that if you don't want to be too busy, then don't plant too many fruits. That's a good idea.
It's a responsibility because like if you put too many, it will be a hectic life for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Good luck with the finishing it. Okay. Okay. Wait. What?
I wrote on it.
Oh, okay. So good. You see how I liked it, how balanced it is, how strong roots and how present moment is very strong. Like your trunk is strong. It's not too. There is always room to grow, but it's strong. It's wide. It's even wider than mine. So you really live your life fully.
Oh, thank you.
Don't delay.
I enjoyed this, and it was actually, it's hard for me to say and not jump, to stay here and not jump up and do something, you know, start supper, or because for me it's almost 5:30 to start something. But it was good to stay in one place for this time, just do this. I feel like I've accomplished something just by staying still.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see when it will be colored.
I'm looking forward too. I wish I hadn't written my notes on it, but okay, that will help me remember.
So this, I'm recording right now. So if you want, I can just send you a link when it will be posted on YouTube. Like I put it on this, not on YouTube, but I'm on Facebook because some people wanted to see it after class. So if it's okay, if you want to rewatch it.
Okay, certainly. I was going to say, you don't have to post about the class because Meg will tell me.
Okay. Good. You're lucky to have Meg.
I'm so lucky. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Done. Okay, Tony, let me unmute you and unmute. Wait. Unmute. Tony, I cannot unmute you, so you somehow.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good. Very busy route, like very busy and very busy present moment, but sun is very powerful. So I want you to pay attention on your, you see this big project on the side in your branches? You did not explore it enough yet. It's big, it's very.
I didn't what?
You need to explore it with lines. Like bring the more energy there, like draw, so draw some lines there. So lines will help you to explore it, helps you to find new aspects of the project, because right now you see the how big it is, but you don't see too many details in it. So it's just you can do it. You can train yourself, like what would be like what would be more details. Very powerful roots. Yeah.
This feels like congestion, and it was hard for me to go up. Like this is, it's like I don't want to see more because this is too much.
Present moment is too much.
Yeah, like this is so much right here. I can't explain it, but I noticed as I was drawing, like I didn't want to do this part. I do want it, but I was happier here, and then going up to the projects and the goals was,
you know, like,
upset. Like I could tell that it was like difficult. It was challenging to go exploring.
It could be. Another option that you can have, you can make wider trunk. You can start collecting all this energy instead of going to the middle of it, and it's where it's already overwhelming. You can start growing on sides, like make it bigger, represent yourself bigger, like show to people yourself bigger. And it will be safer for you. Don't go to the difficult part, but build up something more energy on site. So it will give you more room to grow and more room to breathe. Because right now you try to limit yourself, you feel constraints, and it's overwhelming. It's definitely, you can see it in your drawing that the present moment is overwhelming. But if you will be wider, you will have this branches growing faster and more opportunities to grow. And don't overwhelm yourself, because it's a you could be bigger. Don't limit yourself in the present moment. Be bigger, because you see how huge root you have. You have a very strong support. Very strong support. I love the way it's powerful. It's from where I see it, it's even not just in 2 dimensions, it's like in 3 dimensions. Some of the circles are even come forward. And yeah, and sun is very wide, so you have this even bigger opportunities to be bolder and stronger. Yeah, and I see the lines that they actually called field lines. So you align yourself with the field. You know what what I'm talking about. So those divine lines, those 3 lines that I've done in Neurographica, they are called field lines.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Thank you. That's helpful. Yeah, I noticed right here it was like, why is this so tight? And it's perfect. It's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. Okay, Penny. Okay, so much life. So much energy, really. Like you have a lot of energy. So, and you have a lot of energy at the present moment. You don't delay many projects on the future. Like you are bold right now. It's can you a little bit up so I can see roots. So there is a little bit blind spot on your right side of the roots. For some reason, you see how it's a little bit shifted. There is a very strong one side, and another side is a little bit weaker.
The father side.
That's why it's leaning. So traditionally, this is like a speculation, but traditionally, right side represents male father work. The left side represents feminine energies, mother, home, very private senses, emotions. So try, if you want to be more balanced, you can just intentionally connect more sides, like from the right side to the top. Just follow those lines and intentionally that you are connecting to this, like it could be mirrors, so I don't know if it's a father side or it's mother. So
the father.
So that you intentionally taking whatever they're ready to give you. Maybe it's not much, but you need it right now. You are ready to do it. So just be careful, and not everything. You don't take everything. You don't force anything. But I'm ready to take whatever you ready to give me. Good, with good intention to support me in my growing, in my developing. Because you see how many energies you have. You have a lot of emotions. Like each color represents emotions, and they're very live, very vivid, and very rich colors. So there is nothing blank about you, which is very good. And you may, when you will have this balance, you may even expand more your desires. because pretty much like from what I see, whenever you want to do something, you do it almost right away. You do not delay it to the future. So that's why your trunk is very strong and wide. So for example, on my drawing, I have a lot of like, for future, I have, oh, in the future, I will do this and that. So you have your present moment the strongest. So yeah, the only comment is about right side. And so I see many lines on the left side that you're really trying to reach to other people. But again, right side, there is not so many lines. And you see some of those lines, when you even try to do them, they're going back to the roots. They show you roots need to be fixed. You need to be connected to this. Okay. It's very powerful when you will have this energy connecting. And I'm not talking that it's easy. It's not about easy, but I'm talking about balance, that it needs to be done whenever you're ready. And you can enjoy this drawing for a while, let it sit. When you will be ready, you can come back and balance it on the right side. Don't force yourself that, oh, this means I'm not perfect. You're perfect as you are right now, but it could be even stronger.
So this was from the last class, and this is from today. I'm not quite finished, but this is today.
Okay, completely different. Completely different, huh? But still be the same. You see how the trunk is just as wide as roots. So whatever resources you have, you represent them in current moment. So is it brown color? Yes. Gray, yes. Blue, brown, and orange.
Brown, purple, and orange.
Yeah. So for some reason, like brown represents control. So you see that one before first one was about wildness. So this, you are more about controlling yourself somehow. You tried to organize yourself.
Actually, these colors I chose today were completely random. I closed my eyes and picked them.
Okay, so maybe you need to organize something. So when we do round, maybe you need to organize. And again, you see the right side is a little bit out of balance. It's better, but it's a little bit out of balance. And don't afraid to dream big. You have a strong present moment. Expand your desires. You have a great potential to be as wild as you want.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's me one. Okay. Very bold lines, very direct. You're very strong in communications. It's interesting how you choose different colors. Yellow represents intellect. Very strong. And the orange represents joy, sensuality. So you have a very strong division between intellect and not intellect and body. So try to combine them, because you don't have to choose between intellect and body. You can use them both. You just try to combine them. Interesting. The right side is a little bit, you still be leaning on to the right. And maybe because left side push you too much with intellect. So very interesting. very strong words. You can use very strong words because like you see how bold lines you use.
Very strong words.
Yes, like when you say something, you don't talk too much, but when you say something, it will be to the bullseye. Like so, you've not so there is not too many lines, but they are very strong lines. So line represents how we communicate with people. So interesting. Let's see. Very strong roots, a little bit right side. The same, I would just advise you to intentionally balance it. So you will have a more, explore a little bit more right side. You have a very clear understanding about left side, but still be some gap on the right side that it could be explored.
And you're saying the right side is the left would be the intellect and the right would be the emotions?
Orange side. This orange side, the roots. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like it could be mirrored, but on your one side is could be the tree that is leaning to. Mm-hmm. There is a longing, like sense of longing to this. So you can a little bit support yourself. And again, like when in constellation, I accept what, even like there is something that you don't see there. But if you intentionally invite it to see and explore it with lines, you will feel more balanced. There is some gap there. So this is a
right here.
No, on the other side. Yeah, this way. Yeah, yeah. Very strong desires, like very bold. Not so many, but like they bold. Very important for you. And are you going to color them?
I confess I only had 3 or 4 pencils, so I had to work with what I had.
You can do more.
Yeah, and so then I just took some, and then I just put some of the oranges through here, and then it felt like that spaciousness, or that felt sort of that breath felt okay for the moment. But I might color more. Yeah. But this orange felt so cheerful and warm. Mm-hmm. And I thought, and it felt so bright, and I'm like, well, this one goes out to Anna because it's so nice to connect with you. And I had this warm, bright, luminous feeling connecting with you, and so I think that's Anna Orange.
Thank you, thank you. But expand this orange on your other side, because it should not be. You can enjoy the same experiences around people when you will be just aware of that. You can find this joy in the other people.
Yes.
And it's always there. So pay attention that there is no much lines on the side. The sun that we've done, you can just draw lines to be connected to other people. Mm-hmm. So for some reason, it feels like this tree right now by itself. And it doesn't mean that you don't help other people, but when you need help, you don't ask it. Mm-hmm. Just by like simple small lines, just connect 2-3 lines, don't overcrowd. I love the spaciousness about it, but feel connection to other trees, to other branches, because you can be very you are not could be. You are very beautiful tree to be connected to.
Oh, thank you.
So interesting, very unique.
Thank you. Appreciate the look-see.
Okay. So I'm pretty much finished what we've done today, what we had to do. So if you have any questions, I'm welcome to answer them. And we have only Anna. Anna, do you want to show us anything, or? I don't hear anything from her. So I think we are done for today. So if you finish your drawings, please, you can post them on Facebook and tag me. And or if you want to see, if you are going to draw anything, and if you want to know my opinion or my suggestions, or if you forget about any steps, you're welcome to send message to me over emails or Facebook Messenger. So I will be happy to reply you as fast as possible. And it's my pleasure to see all of you. Some of you I haven't seen for a very long time, and I'm glad to see you all doing well and safe, and keep drawing. There is already scientific research that art really helps to be healthy. So if you have any questions, I can answer them, or we can go and finish whatever you started today. Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Anne. That was.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. See you on next Wednesday, or if you want evenings, Fridays evenings will be at 6 p.m. The same link will work. So have a great day, stay safe, and stay resourceful.
Thank you, Anna, and to you and your loved ones.
Thank you. Bye.